Man, I came in here tonight. I say, Don Miller, you going to go in there tonight and you're going to do a respectful conversation. And boy, did I mess up when I was on my way here to the podcast damn studio. When I came, I guess I'd stop by and support a little black-owned business and get a libation, as I do often, to support the little business, because I got bottles. But I stop by to support the business, man. Let me tell y'all something, people. Very important, and I want y'all to come as close to your radios and your TVs as you can get. Some of them we going to have to just leave by the wayside. Some of them we can't say, man, listen to me. I don't know if it was Harriet Tubman or somebody who said some of them can't go. I'm paraphrasing. Some of them can't go. So I'm out here trying to do the Lord's work. I stop and get me a libation, and lo and behold, I get into a conversation. I'm not going to do that. We'll finish this show when we get to that point. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Subscribe and like the Don Miller Show. Don Miller Podcast Show. Shout out to my boy, Shannon Burke. I popped in on his broadcast today, man. I appreciate you, Shannon. And my main man, Easy. Shout out to Phil, the podcast doctor.
What's going on?
Man, I came here tonight. I was trying to have some company, but, you know, all the company, depending on what I'm talking about, the company, sometimes the company don't have time, right? But I ain't scared. I ain't going to just not come to work because the company don't come. But I have a lot on my mind. We're going to have a great guest. Phil, can you check on the guest, man? We're going to have a great guest.
All right, I'm going to call him right now.
And I want to talk about something, breaking news, of course. We plan our show. I try to plan the show at least, I ain't going to lie, probably early in the day or sometime the day before. A shout out to all of those who have helped me over the years. Of course, shout out to Mika Page, Holly Holloman, and the entire Don Mill. Little Sean, what's up, man? Entire show. And the little white lady, man, Phil, she working out, man.
Amber,
the little white lady, she got the white name, and she is good, and she knows what she's doing, and I appreciate you so much, ma'am. Listen, so...
Our guest is here, by the way.
This is very important. Breaking news, I don't know if you guys have been following the news. Just last night, less than 24 hours ago, at Ronald Reagan Airport, that is the airport in the District of Columbia, within 3 miles from the White House, a plane crash, an American Airlines commuter flight from Wichita, Kansas, had a collision with the United States military Black Hawk helicopter. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I've flown into that airport at least maybe 100 for sure, and it is one of the most secure airspaces in the country outside of military installation. Ronald Reagan. They're on the flight when you're headed into Reagan. They have to tell you can't even go to the bathroom on approach in the last 30 minutes of the flight. Stay in your seats, keep your seatbelts buckled, don't stand up. And most of them, even still now, have air marshals. It's very important that I say this to explain. This is one of the most horrible things I've ever seen. People just trying to get to their destination perish when a military Black Hawk helicopter collided with this airplane. And I'm going to tell y'all what I do. I only talk about stuff I know about. And when I see stuff like this and I have 100 questions, I call people who are experts. And I think we all should lean on experts and shut up sometime. So joining me on the Don Miller Show, this gentleman is my friend for many years. I don't think there's anybody in the United States of America who has more hours of flying time on definitely Lear and probably close to Citation. My good friend, my captain, Captain Jim Watkins. Hey, Cap. Hey, Captain Jim.
Yes, sir.
Captain Jim, I had to have you on. I know you have been flying for probably, 60 now?
Yes, sir. Over 50 years, yes, sir.
Over 50 years. You have flown every type of aircraft out there probably. And so when I saw this, and you have flown me into that airport, correct?
I'm sure. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So when I'm watching this, Captain Jim, how does this happen for our listening audience? You a longtime pilot, captain, logged thousands and thousands of hours. Captain Jim, how does this happen?
Well, I'll tell you, the airlines, in conjunction with the NTSB and the FAA, has complied unbelievable record. I'm talking about the safety. The safety is unbelievable. It's been years since there's been an airline crash.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, every now and then, somewhere along the line, a mistake may be made, or a part may fail.
Mm-hmm.
There's thousands of parts in those aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
That something can happen that you could have what just happened, and that is you could have they'll never be completely safe.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be unbelievably safe.
Mm-hmm.
The safest way to travel in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But sooner or later, there's always a problem. It always has been, and probably always will be. But the safety record is unbelievable, and everything that we look at now, we're not sure about, because they're going to release that information slowly.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a year before the total report is finished.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now we're guessing at things that the FAA or the NTSB, they may know the answer, but they don't want to release that until they double check a bunch of other things
Mm-hmm.
that could contribute to this crash. It could have been a C and B scene. The controller asked the guy if he saw the other airplane.
Mm-hmm.
What they didn't release was what his answer was. I don't know what he said. He said,
Mm-hmm.
Roger, yeah. But they paid a heavy price for any mistake that was made. But unfortunately, human beings have a tendency to make mistakes
Mm-hmm.
sooner or later, and we don't know what happened there. It'll be a month before we get the preliminary report, and 8, 9 months or a year or whatever. They'll get it all checked out.
Captain Jim,
and then we'll know what happened. And until then, we're just guessing.
Captain Jim, I have a question for you. So, understanding that airport, several people asked me today, that airspace is probably outside of military installation, some of the most restrictive airspace in the United States, right?
Absolutely.
So they say the Black Hawk helicopter, Sikorsky Black Hawk helicopter, was doing some kind of training maneuver that evening. And have you seen military planes, helicopters doing maneuvers as you have approached airports before?
Yes, I have. I have, yes, sir.
So the tower, okay, the tower controls all of that. The tower is still in charge?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. The tower's in control. The FAA kind of, is in charge of the tower. The military, they do their own thing, and there could have been some kind of a mix-up there, but they have a very good record of working together with the civilian controllers. So the military does a great job also for safety, but unfortunately, sometimes things can go haywire.
So, Captain Jim, I just want to grab you real quick. I like a lot of messages from my listeners. Phil, you got a question?
At the moment.
Okay. So, yeah, I want to just grab you. So many of my listeners were asking me, is it still safe to go back up in the air?
Well, absolutely. If you were born on an airliner and never got off,
Mm-hmm.
stayed right on that airplane the rest of your life, your lifespan would only be a few days shorter than anybody else's.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it is incredibly safe,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean that something won't happen.
Wow. Well, Captain Jim, I got a question. One of my listeners just sent me a message. How many hours do you think you have over your years?
About 43,000 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And Captain Jim don't like for me to tell people this. Captain Jim was a co-pilot for John Travolta for many years, right?
I flew for John off and on for several years. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And
he is a good pilot, by the way.
yeah, and he'd flown me around for a long time too. You know, I didn't have to pay him; I couldn't afford it, but he just gave me rides. And not like having a friend because just give you rides. You know what I mean?
I know exactly.
Captain, thank you so much, my friend. Thanks for taking the time out for joining us. And I want the listeners to know, listen, Captain Jim Watkins, 40,000+ hours. He said it's safe to go back in there. Don't panic. Well, Captain Jim, I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Phil.
Wow. He's right though. Flying is the safest form of travel. I mean, I saw 2 accidents just driving here.
Yeah. And that don't include road rage. You ain't gonna have no road rage at 30,000. Ain't nobody up there gonna, shoot you the bird and try to run you off the road. It's just unfortunate. I just kind of want people to sit back and be careful and watch what's happening. I got a lot of questions. I didn't want to go into too deep with the conversation. I've spent a lot of time in and out of that airport.
I mean, I do. I was, because I saw back when I was in search of job. This was a few years ago. I was still working at the hospital and stuff, and I saw there were some positions that were very lucrative, and they did need a college degree. And air traffic controller was one of them.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's good money, but recently they changed the criteria for employment. Just recently, I know a young lady whose brother, who was an epileptic, was hired probably in the last 5 years, and had a seizure in the tower.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because they waived a lot of the requirements. What they call that, DEI.
That's what that is?
Yeah, I think that's what that is. Not to say that people with disabilities shouldn't be employed, but that's very important. But there's some jobs I don't know about. And it's really unfortunate. These families are hurting now. We ought to keep them in our prayers. But I just got a lot of questions, but I ain't going to put them out there on the radio right now. I just want to wait and see what happens. But I'm going to be driving for the next however long. I'm going to be driving. I'm just going to be driving. So I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all hear Don is in Chicago, I drove.
Oh.
Cleveland, I was driving. Cincinnati, yep, drove there from Cleveland. Again, it's just really unfortunate. So keep those families in our prayers. I want to turn the corner quickly. Got a lot to get to today in a short time. We probably... Phil, give your heads up. I might go over a couple of minutes.
Okay.
The phone lines are open, too.
All right, let me put it out on screen here for y'all.
Because I got to hit this. This is very, very important that I take my time with this. 352-717-4071 is the number. I do live podcasts. I know people like, why don't you just tape the show and let Phil edit? No, I ain't doing all that. I just need y'all to hear me. I need to talk to people. This wouldn't be fun if I ain't had nobody to talk to.
Right, because you would have missed this.
Right.
You would have missed what happened.
Absolutely. Right. I'd be talking about some nonsense. Be looking like the only one out there. Real quick, though, I want to hit this because I'm watching this conversation about illegal immigration. Books don't bite, y'all. Books don't bite. Every one of you got a smartphone or a laptop or maybe a desktop. You got access. Go to the library. Get a library card. You can use their systems. I want black people to do me a favor. Stay out of the illegal immigration conversation. Every black person in this country should be not having no damn conversation regarding illegal immigration. Send their ass back, especially the criminals. If you are a criminal, if you commit a crime in this country, you need to go back to where you came from. We have laws. We got to abide by the laws. How the hell my friend Steve going to tell me, man, they wrong for that? If your ass get in trouble, they ain't sending you over the border. They sending your ass to jail. These people get a second chance in a badass environment. Bye. See you later. All of them need to go. And now, shout out to the Trump administration who just came down today. If you are on a student visa and your dumb ass think it's a good idea to protest in support of Hamas, your visa's gone. Go home. If you like Hamas that much, take your ass right over there where Hamas is. If you go to somebody's country to be a student and you think it's a good idea, these fools at Columbia and all these Ivy League schools out there supporting a murderous group of people, and you over here on a wing and a prayer, as my grandma used to say, take your ass home too. Go learn in your country. Why'd you come over here? Go learn where you come from. Bye. Send them all back. Because we as American citizens have to abide by the law. We don't get a no-look chance or a bus ride to a new land. We go straight to the pokey. Phil?
Mm-hmm.
We worry about, man, hey, man, bye, all y'all. Break the law. Take your ass home. We got to have a standard. There's no standard. And for the Negro, man, I'm so ashamed of you fools sometime. Stop listening if I said something to hurt your feelings. How dare black people run up on this immigration conversation? There was a guy named Felix who ran an organization called LULAC. It was the League of United Latin American Citizens. Felix was in charge in the 50s and 60s. In the midst of Jim Crow, in the midst of the civil rights movement. And Walter Cronkite stuck a microphone in Felix's bitch-ass face and said, what about the suffering of the Negro? Put up Felix's remarks. Felix said, let the Negro fight his own battles. His problems are not mine. I don't want to ally with him. This Felix Tirrena, Mexican-American president of LULAC. Let the Negro fight his own battles, Phil.
Looks like we got a phone call.
Man, come on, man. Y'all better read. Books don't bite. Let's go to the phone lines. Hey, you on the Don Miller Show. Hello? All right, put Felix back up. I want people to see Felix. Go read about Felix. In the midst of the civil rights movement, they asked Felix in the LULAC organization, right? The League of United Latin American Citizens. Why haven't you gotten involved with the civil rights movement? The marches all over this country. Felix went right to the microphone and said, let the Negro fight his own battles. His problems are not mine. I don't want to ally with him. Thank you, Felix. I appreciate you being honest.
I think our call is back.
Let's go to the phone lines. Hey, you on the Don Miller Show.
Is that? It's Pat.
Hey, Pat from Florilla. We can't hear. Hey, Pat, how you doing, man?
Hey, what up, Don Miller? It's AJ, Walton County, man.
Hey, Walton County, AJ. Hey, baby boy. Beautiful Panhandle. How you doing, man? Good, man.
Brother, I tell you, I'm getting over a daggum. I tell you, I've been down for 4 days last week, man.
What you got? What's on your mind up there with the snow in the Panhandle?
Oh, hell, I'm glad it's gone. That's what.
Absolutely, man. What's up?
Oh, nothing, man. So I'm watching this video of the helicopter crash. Man, it's crazy. That helicopter flew right into that damn plane.
Mm-hmm. That's what it looked like.
Yeah. And, I got a lot of friends. I'm kind of like you. Bunch of liberal leftists. And, man, they're all blaming Trump for this and blaming Trump for that.
They are blaming Trump, as a matter of fact. I just saw that today. They're blaming Trump for this.
That CNN released something, and they said, Donald Trump, it's his fault. And it's like, shit, man.
Hey, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you calling. Let me just say this. So, yes, I see them blaming Trump and saying that Trump is to blame. I ain't read it because I'm just like, let's move, y'all. We got to stop. But when I saw that they were blaming Trump for this, I remembered the black guy named Mr. Washington. Phil, you got that?
Mm-hmm.
So Joe Biden picked a guy named Phil Washington. Phil's name, Washington. He was in charge of the Denver airport. And they picked him to run the FAA. FAA, the whole thing. He goes before the Senate committee, and they interviewed Mr. Washington. Let's play this clip.
All right, here we go.
So, Mr. Washington, can you quickly tell me what airspace requires an ADS-B transponder?
Not sure I can answer that question right now.
That's okay. We'll just keep going. So that's a pretty important part. So what are the 6 types of special use airspace that protect this national security that appear on FAA charts?
Sorry, Senator, I cannot answer that question.
So what are the operational limitations of a pilot flying under basic med?
Senator, I'm not a pilot, so...
But obviously you'd oversee the Federal Aviation Administration. So any idea what those restrictions are under basic med, quickly?
Well, some of the restrictions, I think, would be high blood pressure. Some of them would be...
It's more like how many passengers per airplane, how many pounds in different categories, and what altitude you can fly under. So, and then amount of knots. It's under 250 knots. So, it's not having anything to do with blood pressure. So, can you tell me what causes an aircraft to spin or to stall?
Again, Senator, I'm not a pilot.
Okay.
Stop. That's enough, man.
Oh, dude,
right?
You're murdering that man. Jeez.
No. So they all do it. This guy was nominated to run the FAA. He quit that. He quit. After he walked out of there, he's like, no, y'all can find somebody else. I'm going to go on back to my job if I can still keep it. The point is, be careful. Stop blaming people. Let's wait to see what happens. Now, let's get back to illegal immigration.
Jeez, please. Okay.
They do it. I'm telling you. That brother had no business. But guess what? That was DEI. We're going to get to that on the back end of the show, right? That's DEI. Remember the homosexual that he put in charge of the Department of Transportation who took 8 months off when his husband brought the baby home? Pete Buttigieg.
Did you say booty judge?
Buttigieg.
Come on.
I'm sorry. But that's the point I'm making, right? Listen, if you don't think this, we'll get back on the back end of that. So let's go back to illegal immigration. And I'm thinking, and then I'm hearing people talk about who gonna pick the fruits and vegetables. Listen to me, guys. I promise you the fruits and vegetables will be picked if you pay a living wage. People need to go on with that nonsense. We so spoiled, right? Pay people the right money. They'll go do it. They ain't going to do it for these, but the number some of these people doing it for. So the point is this. If you want to come to this country and become a part of this country and do the right thing to be assimilated into our system, welcome, fine, okay? Do it the way many of my friends who came here from other countries have done it. Do it the right way. But if you want to sneak over here and rape children and do armed robberies and be disrespectful like that clown who snuck into the country is telling people how to squat, remember him, Phil? Oh, they came and got his ass the other day. The point is this. Many of these people have come to this country and become extremely arrogant. The black gangs and Latin gangs who are American citizens, they hide their face when the camera come around. These illegals balls up. What you gonna do, puppy? All right? The problem is this. If you come here, you commit a crime. You're not pouring it to the system. We're talking about illegal criminals. Then this idiot-ass dude told me today, they starting, Phil, listen to this. They starting with the illegals, and next they're going to send the blacks. Negro, if they don't send me to Mississippi, that's my mama land. I can drive my Buick down. Okay, tell me I got to go back to where I came from. Mississippi, my motherland is Mississippi. Stop it. All this ridiculousness about who's getting ready to get sent back. Stop it. Respect the institution. Be a good citizen. Stop it, man. We got to stop running up defending people who ain't never defended us. I saw an illegal dude in Chicago at a march, and he was telling the black, I came to get your job. Oh, okay, all right. That's what you came for? Listen, man, I'm telling you right now, this whole immigration conversation it's got to be some of the most ridiculous nonsense.
We got a comment here. It's cut off, so I'll read the rest of it here. So, stop it, Don. People who pick fruit make crazy money. It's called piecework. The more you pick, the more you make. Some pickers make $175 to $200 a day.
That's crazy money, huh? Okay. Well, okay. And that's a farmer who just said that, right? Mm-hmm. That's a farmer. And he may be right. But if you look at the recent people, Mr. Farmer, coming over the border, they're not going to the farmland. They're going to urban cities. And they're getting way bigger checks from the government than $100, $200 a day. Yes or no, Mr. Farmer? My point is this. We have to stop, man. We got to pick our battles. We're supporting nonsense. If the government deems these people criminals, if they have been, think about it. An illegal gets out of jail quicker than Xantavius. Phil? Phil, no, for real. Yeah. I knew this guy, illegal guy. He lived down the street in a house with like 10 people from my friend in Chicago. And they caught him on an armed robbery. They say he was on the porch in like 2 weeks.
Damn.
They got Xantavius for attempted armed robbery. He gone. Especially in the sanctuary city.
Get on the phone call.
Let's go to the phone lines. Y'all rubbing me the wrong damn way. Hello, you're on the Don Miller Show.
Hey, Don Miller. This is Pap.
Hey, Pap from Florida. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I survived the blizzard of 25.
Okay,
so I made it all good. Yeah.
Okay.
That's about the fourth or fifth time I ever seen snow in my part of the country up here. And it's cold. It's pretty, but cold.
Well, thank you.
What kind of stuff y'all talking about tonight, man?
Go, hey, Pap, go turn us on, man. Turn us on and call us back. Thanks, Pap, man. Dude, they just be calling. Like, what y'all doing?
They love you,
What
bro.
y'all doing?
You're
We just sitting on the porch drinking beers.
You're their best friend, man. Come on.
Let me just say this for real, really seriously about this illegal thing. And I hear you, Jonathan. There are people working in fields making good money. But they make that money, Phil, and they immediately go to Western Union or Walmart and
Send it back.
And send it back. That's all. I'm saying if you come to this country and you want to do it the right way, that's fine. I'm saying illegals who break the law don't get 2 chances. They don't get 3 chances. They go home. And let me tell you who said this first. Watch this. Hillary Clinton. Watch this.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
Damn, Hillary. Thank you, Hillary. Now, see what Hillary just said?
Oh.
No, Hillary. Is Hillary serious? What did Bernie say? This is interesting.
Bernie said this.
Of everybody else. And that gets us to the immigration issue. If poverty is increasing and if wages are going down, I don't know why we need millions of people to be coming into this country as guest workers who will work for lower wages than American workers and drive wages down even lower than they are right now.
And as we know, the principal industries.
Wow, Bernie. No Bernie to Hillary. Now, these 2 people ran for president, right? Now, keep in mind, they both ran for president. They didn't win. What did the guy say who won?
If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century.
Books don't bite.
Jonathan, call back.
Books don't bite. Listen to me, man. All of a sudden now, the treating of illegal criminal aliens is about civil rights. Those were 3 people who ran for president. One of them won. They all said the same thing. Now Donald Trump is hitting the gas on it with cameras. I get it. Maybe they didn't have cameras. Barack Obama sent more people back. You way more than anybody else. Bill Clinton sent a bunch of them back. Bush sent them back. They didn't have cameras. Then some clown said, well, they're just embarrassing these people. I don't give a damn if you embarrass an illegal criminal. You embarrassed my brothers and sisters for years. Just want to protest and sit at the damn diner in Selma and Montgomery. You can kiss my ass on that one. Stop it. They did nothing wrong. They want it right. They wanted to be treated fairly. So you telling me by putting a camera in an illegal's face who done committed a heinous crime in Chicago and you got him in shackles and you toting his ass back to a plane and dropping his monkey ass back off in Guatemala, you're doing him wrong by putting this picture on TV? Hell no. Cut it out. Every one of these liberal ass people said send them home when it benefited their conversation. Now, Donald Trump is actually sending them home with cameras. And I know, y'all know Donald Trump. Donald Trump is extra. He do things extra. But this illegal immigration, this sending criminals home has been a song that had been sang for many years. Go read something, many of you clowns. We got a phone call. Let's go to the damn phone lines. Hey, you on the Don Miller Show.
Hey, what's up, Don Miller?
Hey, this is Jonathan. Man, Jonathan is the owner of Morris Family Farms. He's a farmer, and he probably got some illegals. That's why he calling in with this nonsense right now. Go ahead, man.
I ain't got no illegals. First of all, my guys change their Social Security number every 6 months like clockwork. My guys got multiple Social Security cards. All right, so don't even play with me.
Okay.
Jose turns into Juan, and Juan turns into Alfonso, and they just keep rolling.
How you doing, man? Let's talk.
I'm doing good. But listen, I don't know how far back you want to go, because you talked a lot since I tried to call and got through, but I've been dealing with this my entire life. All right, I grew up on a cane plantation, picking cane, picking corn, right? Charlie Frank was a Jamaican man. They got the outside road of the cane because it was the biggest, strongest road because of the way the sunlight, the fertilizer, and the water got it. And he was the only Jamaican that could cut that road, and it got nicknamed the Charlie Frank Road. So with cane, you get paid by the foot. With corn, you get paid by the bushel. With beans, you get paid by the bucket. With citrus, you get paid by the cub. The harder you work, the more money you make, all right? But none of the money stays in America.
None.
All right. I'm talking about all the way back to 1980. I learned how to drive on a tractor before I drove a pickup truck. So as long as I can remember, and then when I started working, when I was 18, 19, running crews, because we ran field crews, on payday, them jokers would line up at the Winn-Dixie or the food line at Western Union, and they would take the check we give them, and they would take it there, and El Mundo Mexicano guy in the corner of the Winn-Dixie, they would wire almost every dollar. They would keep $100, $200 because this is back in 88, 90. All right, they keep it today. Maybe they keep a little more money. They keep a couple $100 for beer, and 6, 7, 8 of them would sleep in the same one-room efficiency hotel. Okay, they didn't waste no money. They drank beer, ate tacos, or if they were Jamaican, they ate sardines out of a can. Mm-hmm. They worked. And they send every damn dollar they make back to their countries. Now, John, I had a tractor driver named Gilberto.
Uh-huh. Jonathan, so you're a real farmer, and we know you're a farmer. I get your vegetables. I'm going to talk to you about that damn venison the other day, but we'll get back to that later. Let me just say something. So you grew up on a plantation. Your daddy he was one of the guys, right?
Yes, and this, just so you understand, there were 5 houses on the plantation. Mm-hmm. I started in house number 5 and as a child and moved up to house number 1. Wow. My daddy walked the field with everybody else when we first moved on there. Mm-hmm. We were one step up from what they call, from the worker. And then he eventually worked his way up to plantation manager, and then they eventually started calling him vice president. But yes, I grew up where there was a road for black people and a road for white people. There was a basketball court for black people, and there was a basketball court for the only white kid on the camp, and that was me, so I played on the other court with everybody else. But so people, when they come to me with racism and segregation and this and that and respect and manners, I'm the wrong one to talk to, because I told everybody this story before. Miss Elizabeth, who was our lady who sold ice pops and candy and now later out of her front porch, was the first person who taught me you don't walk on other people's grass. When she yelled, "Get your honky crack ass off my grass!" And then she whooped me, and then she called my mama, and my mama whooped me for walking on the grass. So there's so much we could talk about. But
yeah,
I've been involved in labor camps, and labor crews from Homestead, Florida, all the way to Wisconsin and back. But
let me ask you this: so when you see President Trump sending the illegal criminal ass aliens out of here, what are your thoughts?
Get the hell out. Get out now. Listen, when I was young, when I was like 6, 7 years old, I used to throw watermelons with black people from my school, Pahokee Elementary. Mm-hmm. We used to go out in the summer. There was a Filipino kid named Nelson Lopez. Tyrone, I'm not making that up because that was his real name, Tyrone. He was a black kid. He was a running back. We all put G.J. Wilkerson was a white kid. We went out every summer and we picked watermelons and picked mangoes, and that's how we made our scratch money, our extra money. And then somewhere in middle school, all of a sudden they didn't need us no more picking. And migrant workers started coming in like crazy. And at first it was just in cane and sugar. And then it started taking over everything. So we had to find other ways to make money as teenagers, because we couldn't go out and work in the fields no more when school was out, because liability insurance, we're not allowed to have minors out here no more. Mm-hmm. So now they bring in all these crews from out of the country, and they house them. And, they're nasty. Haitians are nasty, first of all.
But
right?
thank you, man.
Well, here's what I'm getting at. They disrespect our towns, okay? Because I lived in a migrant town where parts of the year we'd have 2,000 Mexicans. Or the next part of the year you'd have 2,000 Guatemalans, and then you'd have 2,000 Jamaicans and Haitians. And two things happened. One, American people, black, white, Hispanic, were like, I don't want to work all day for $125. I want to make that in 4 hours, but I don't want to produce what the farmer needs to produce. I want to sit on my ass and take my time and get 15-minute water breaks. And then the migrant workers would come in, and they would be on the bus at 3:30 in the morning, and they wanted to make as much money as they could as fast as they could so they could get back to the hotel, you know, the place they were staying. So the farmer didn't have to pay by the hour no more. He paid by the box, piecework. And these guys would go out and make crazy money fast.
And thank you so much, Jonathan. We appreciate it. Look, if you want to get a good steak, head over to him, Organic Meats in beautiful Lake Mary. Jonathan's actually a farmer.
Where's it at?
Organic Meats, Lake Mary, Florida. But look, dude, I need to talk to you about that venison.
Okay.
He gave me.
Was it good or bad?
Man, that venison was the worst venison I ever seen in my life. Had in my man, that thing.
Really?
Man, it was gummy as a pack of double mint. But we'll talk about that later.
Don said the venison wasn't no good. They couldn't hardly chew it.
All right.
Hey, we'll talk about it later, man.
Said, we gonna fight.
No, I'm gonna just come get some steaks. Now you owe me like 4 steaks. Thank you so much, man. We love you, brother.
He's gone.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. That damn, all that needed to have a Wrigley's pack of Wrigley's venison. That damn like gum. Thank you so much, everybody. I really want to just say this because I think people don't understand the importance of not being drawn into conversations that don't benefit you. The illegal immigration conversation does not benefit citizens of this country. You can let them tell you why it's important to let 10 million people in. It ain't got nothing to do with picking no damn strawberries. These are the new voters. These are the new voters. I'm telling you, when you come in this country in many states and you get a driver's license, which they're giving them, they give you in many of these places, you get a voter registration card along with a driver's license. So we have to understand whenever the Democrats like Hillary and Barack and Bernie and these people who are like, get them out of here, change their tune, it's a trick. Anybody want to ask why they changed their minds?
Why they changed their mind?
Because now those are the new voters because you can't count on the Negro to vote consistently. So why about get these people freedom and they going to do whatever you say do, massa? Go look. I'm telling people, pay attention. Books don't bite. Go read something. We got to be careful, man. We can't carry everybody's cross. Put Felix back up there. You see what Felix said? Let the Negro fight his own battles. His problems are not mine. I don't want to ally with the Negro. Felix snuck into the damn country.
Damn.
And he probably got some juice. And now he telling you how he really feel, man. Listen, man, I'm going to pray for everybody, but I ain't finna march in the streets. I can't do it, man. You break the law. You don't have the right documentation. Get your ass up out of here. Thanks so much, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe and like. We need the support. Subscribe and like. Tell your friends. The Don Miller Show is not going anywhere. We're going to be right here with the podcast doctor. He got new equipment. Phil put money in this thing, man. I was going to quit tonight, but now I come in here, you got more cameras.
Wait.
Yeah, I was getting ready to quit. I was going to quit. I ain't going to even lie. I said to myself, I'm going to quit. And then I come in here, you got new cameras. He got a little makeup room. I can go put some makeup on my forehead now. I'm shining like new money in this bitch. I want to hit something else, Phil.
Okay.
DEI. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's been a conversation, one of the greatest scams ever perpetrated upon a segment of the race in America. In August of 2011, we had never heard DEI, diversity, inclusion, and whatever the other one is, right? And all of a sudden, Barack Obama came to the microphone. He didn't say affirmative action because that was attached to the Negro.
Mm-hmm.
He said, we got a new one called DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the Negro stood up and started cheering because the black president had brought them to a place where they may get an opportunity in the midst of the darkness that the Negro had suffered through with lack of employment, lack of education. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yay! Our time has come. Thank you, Mr. Hussein Obama. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. And then we find out Mr. Hussein Obama did that for the homosexual community. If you go look at the numbers, white women, I love white women. White women just waited for their turn. White women was just waiting. White women's like, all right, something's going to come around. Come around. All the way go back, right, to the suffrage movement and Susan B. Anthony. And the B was bitch. Go look. I ain't making that up. They waited. White women waited. They waited for that moment. I shout out to the white women. Man, I love y'all so much, sisters. And 2011, Barack Obama, at that point, he had a failed platform. It's called Obamacare. It came out of the Heritage Institute. First, it was Romney Care. It went over there to Massachusetts, and it worked for Mitt Romney when he was the governor of Massachusetts. Now, keep in mind, this was written by the Heritage Institute that they're calling racist now, remember? But Obama said, I can use that. And he called it Obamacare. And they fought through and got it passed. And people thought they was going to be able to get their kidney fixed. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. But it costs too much. And DEI comes along. Oh, keep in mind, the first initiative was LGBT. Don't ask, don't tell. And Adam and Steve could get married. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Go look. I ain't making this up. Books don't bite. Then he come with DEI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the black people said, it's our time now. Barack Obama, the activist from the south side of Chicago who married Michelle Robinson, he's getting ready to change our lives. And then they went down there to sign up to get the job for DEI. There was some white women in the line. There's some homosexuals. There was some Asians, some Indians, a couple of disabled people, Hispanics, and then the Negro took up the back. And the Negro said, wait a minute. I thought this was about us. And the Indian, not the white woman, who was glad to be at the front of the line finally, not the homosexual, who don't even know how they got in the line, definitely not the arrogant-ass Indian. It was the disabled guy who said, your turn will come, my friend. Then there's a wonderful article. I want y'all to go read this. Black Enterprise is one of the greatest pieces of journalism that we've had as black people in this country. Black Enterprise magazine has been around for a long time. I used to remember as a young man, I would get Black Enterprise and just read about who was doing well, car dealerships. One of the first times I picked up Black Enterprise, I never knew that black people own these type of businesses, right? Black Enterprise was a storied and is a storied publication. So you don't have to believe Don Miller over here sitting in here sweating like a runaway slave in this studio. But I want you to believe Black Enterprise magazine, who has put out good work historically. So I was talking to a friend of mine. He sent me some statistics from the Bureau of Labor. And I called him. I was like, man, send me the real statistics. He's like, dog, them the statistics. I was like, there's no way DEI was set up by the black president to help the black people. And I'm like, dude, send me the real data. He's like, dude, that's the data. And then I had to read it. And Black Enterprise, what did they say? Black Enterprise magazine, Daniel Johnson, September 26, 2023. Black people only comprise 4% of DEI positions in the workplace. And I said to myself, damn, Barack Hussein Obama, who you help?
Everybody else.
Who you help? Who you help, Phil?
Everybody else.
And then I'm looking at black people talking about DEI, and we marching and jumping up and down. That wasn't for us. And here we go again not reading, letting somebody who don't even like us tell us which door to go in. Oh, man, I said I wasn't going to say that on this station.
Yep, you did it.
We the only people let our enemy pick our enemy. We let somebody who don't even like us say, oh, no, go in that door. No, you don't even like me. I'm not going to the door you tell me to go in. The point I'm making is we got to do better at picking our spots, man, picking our battles, engaging properly, and it starts with reading and being informed. Can we be informed? And then we got people like Al Sharpton, a known con artist, an FBI informant. Phil, did you know that?
An FBI informant?
Just Google that. Get ready to put it on the screen. Al Sharpton, a known con man. Through Jesus, he has amassed wealth. I've been praying to Jesus and sowing seeds and paying my tithes, and I still ain't amassed no wealth. But Al Sharpton has amassed significant wealth because the Negro who doesn't engage and doesn't seek knowledge has been following this ass crack for a long time. So the other day, Al Sharpton show up with a bunch of idiots at Costco.
Well, I don't have that video. That was the one that didn't load. But I'm reading, it says that he was an FBI informant for on the mob?
Yes.
What? Hold on. I'm going to pull this up on my computer.
The fact I'm making is Al Sharpton is not your friend. Al Sharpton gets paid for everything he does. He should be the last person we fall in line with. And now he's saying, boycott Target. I'm saying, hell no. Finally, Target has a whole section of big items manufactured and produced by black businesses. They got a whole ass black section in Target. You go right over there. You can get all your hair gels. You know what I mean? You can go over there and buy all kind of. Tabitha Brown got a whole little flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quetta Jean Johnson from the Johnson family, she live in Target. She got a whole little room, Quetta's room in Target. The point I make is this. Now they're talking about boycotting Target. For what? Because Target said they're going to get rid of DEI.
All right, I got it now.
But you're going to lose these businesses. So you out here boycotting Target, but you're still setting your monkey ass up on Amazon all day. Then you're running into Walmart all day. Books don't bite. Put that on the screen, man.
We're going to do diversity. We're going to do this because race needs to be dealt with. And for Donald Trump to be able to cancel a commitment they made is an outright affront to the black community, brown community, LGBTQ, gay community,
hard to hear him.
And women that they committed to. So that is why.
Okay, get that dude off screen. Right. Get your old raggedy con man ass somewhere and sit down, Al Sharpton. Who follows him? Now, he done showed up at Costco with a bunch of clowns because he ain't got a church. We going with, bro, we going with Mal. Where did he go to theology school? He didn't. But we so stuck in this mindset that we need leaders like that to lead us. It's like we live in a mindset of cognitive dissonance so much it's eating us. It's eating to the core. Al Sharpton's not with you Negroes. He's a snitch. Ain't it amazing how we say snitches get stitches, but we run to a snitch when we, Mr. Snitch, can you tell Donald Trump what we want? No. Because somebody going to hit him off with a few dollars. He probably got a gold Costco card just for taking them fools over there. He can go in Costco and buy anything he want. 37 pieces of chicken, you know what I mean? Whatever, right? You know, he went, the CEO of Costco and called him up, met him at the cigar bar in New York. Okay? Met him at Peter Luger's in the back table on the left side. And say, hey, look, here's a gold Costco card, Reverend Sharpton. Thank you so much. What can I get with a gold Costco card, Mr. Man? You can get anything you want under 50 items. Al Sharpton went right over there to Costco, bought some chicken wings and a bunch of other nonsense. We cannot grow if we continue to follow people that don't have our best interest. Let me say that real slow because I think somebody think Don Miller out here cooning tonight. How we going to grow if we don't know? You can't grow if you don't know. Seek knowledge. Check people out. Phil, you didn't even know Al Sharpton was a snitch, did you?
Did not know that.
And that's a real publication. You read that in, ain't it?
I mean, even Google says it right on top. You know, Google AI?
Yes.
You know, Google AI does it. It literally said, I asked Google, I said, is Al Sharpton an FBI informant? And Google's AI is like, yep.
Al Sharpton ain't your friend. If Al Sharpton, I want to tell all the black people out here, especially the ones who live right and love Christ, man. I try to live right and love Christ simultaneously. If Al Sharpton tell on the mob, what you think he'll do with you for a few dollars? Huh?
Yeah, right.
Right? If he tell on Giancarlo and the Esposito brothers, right? What you think he'll do for you if somebody give him a few dollars? These people can't be trusted. That's why I'm over here in the podcast studio with Phil and ain't got a national talk show.
We got a call.
That's why I'm over here with Phil. Mean Phil, as hot as balls in here. But that's okay because I'm talking to people I love, man. Pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. Let's go to the phone lines. Hey, you on the Don Miller Show?
Hold on.
Man, I'm out here.
Screaming.
They talking about Don
There
Miller.
he is.
Hey, you on the Don Miller Show?
Hey, Don, Richard Murray.
Hey, Richard Murray. Hey, turn your volume down in the background, Richard Murray. All right. Richard,
Down all the way.
How you doing, Richard Murray? Go ahead. What you got to say?
Good, buddy. It's good to hear you're on the roar tonight.
Yes, sir.
I agree with you about Al Sharpton, but being a white guy, I can't say that without serious ramifications. I mean,
racist.
He'll bring his thugs over out into my street. Then I get in trouble with my sheriff.
Absolutely, man. Richard Murray, thank you for your support, man.
You got it, buddy.
Man, I appreciate you. Love you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Sorry I missed you today.
That's okay. We appreciate you, man. Love you. Let me just say this, guys. Listen, man. When you get to my age, and the struggle life makes you comfortable with very little. Think about what I said, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
The struggle life makes you very comfortable with very little. I'm not going to do this. Phil, you heard about me before you met me, right? I'm the same Don Miller on the radio I've been for years. That's why they kept putting me off the station.
That's right.
Huh?
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I only been put off one white station.
That was recent.
Right. And they didn't put me off, okay? They took about $8-9 million and said they're going to close the door and sell the market. But
yeah, no, they cashed out on you.
Oh, yeah. Let me just say something. I changed their numbers, Phil. Okay? Yeah. So the point I make is this. People, please, okay? I just want people to understand, just because somebody tells you it's for you, do some research. Black Enterprise Magazine, a storied publication in the black community. For 50 years, Mr. Graves, Earl Graves, started that publication and passed it down to his son. What a wonderful man, an intelligent, very articulate scholar. Earl G. Graves. See if you can put his picture up. I want people to know what I'm talking about. Earl G. Graves, man. When I was a young man, I would read this guy's writings. He was brilliant, and he talked about economic growth and that being the only thing that was going to change the cycle. Economic growth, not boycotting. Earl G. Graves, man, I love this man. One of the best people you'll ever have a conversation with. Always dressed to the nines. What a conversation. I've had great conversation with Mr. Graves over the years. But he always talked about economic development, not about boycotting and marching, but economic growth and then education and economic growth. Every time I talked to him about anything, those two came out of his mouth. What a man. And his magazine said, what, Phil? His magazine.
4%.
Put it back up there, Phil. 4%. So if you don't have to believe me, don't believe any of these other people that what they're telling you, but black people only comprise of 4% of DEI positions in the workplace. Earl G. Graves started that magazine. Go pull it up. I want everybody to read it. Whatever your race is, I ain't playing that game. I'm saying stop it. You don't grow if you don't know. Anyway, I want to get back to when I came in here. Phil, tell these people when I came in here. Was I on 10?
Yes.
I came in here on 10.
I should have been recording now.
I came in here on 10 twice today. Mm-hmm. Earlier today, I ran into a young lady.
She messed the food up.
No, earlier today, I ran into a young lady, and she got 3 baby daddies, right? Mm. And she was talking about the system is against her, and, blah, 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 and the system is against her. She don't have an education. I'm trying to raise my kids. This is getting so hard. And you got 3 baby daddies, right? 2 of them incarcerated, 1 of them on the run. You know what I mean?
Oh, gosh.
And she's like, I don't know what to do. I wanted to say the first thing you should do is start letting them put semen in you.
Oh, my God.
That's the first thing. Let's start there. Huh? To fix the problem, where do we start? At the beginning of the problem. No more semen in you until you're married, right? Phil? Mm-hmm. You ever talking about you got 3 baby daddies, 2 in jail and 1 on the run, and you don't know what to do? Be a parent. Take the L. Stop complaining. You did it. Figure out a way to get a support group and go to school and pick up a trade or start somewhere. Stop complaining because I don't want to hear it. My mama had more than 3. She didn't roll over. Close those legs. Elizabeth Ann O'Brien, close those legs. You're right. And she telling me I just don't know what to do with my life. I know what you already did with it. Let's start there first, right? You already messed up. And it don't mean that you can't fix it. But you're not going to fix it on the woe is me. Close your legs. You can't grow if you don't know. Then I run into another young lady. She tells me that all white people don't like black people. And I said to myself, you're going to have a dead-end job for the rest of your damn life. All white people don't like black people. They all against us. And I'm saying to myself, who is they? People, you have to stop. You're buying into the narrative. Whoever is against you loves it that you think like this. Whoever is against you finds it's amazing. Stephen Biko so eloquently put, as I wrap up, the greatest weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. I'm going to say that one more time. Write this down, y'all. Hurry up. Subscribe and like. Subscribe and like. Tell your friends about this damn show. Follow me on all platforms. The Don Miller Show. Shout out to all of those people who helped me get this going. Quetta Jean Johnson, I appreciate you so much. Shout out to the fragrance lady at the church who give me fragrances so I can smell good in the house of the Lord. Shout out to Sandra, who just whine and moan all the time. Shout out to Phil, the podcast doctor. Shout out to Artie and Osiris. Shout out to Timmy McClain and all these people. And I love y'all, man. Get some people in your life that's going to look at your ass and tell you the truth. That outfit looked terrible on you. We need people in our lives to tell us the truth. And as I close today, the words of Stephen Biko, the greatest, most powerful weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. I love y'all. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you.